Ashlynn Sunderbruch, and I'm going to ask everyone a very simple question. Can you name a famous athlete? You can go ahead and answer them right now.
Michael Jordan.
Took mine.
Steph Curry.
Can you name a famous gymnast, figure skater, ballerina, or cheerleader?
Yes.
Baruchnikov.
Baruchnikov.
Can you name a famous basketball player, football player, or hockey player?
Mike Madonna.
Emmett Smith.
Notice how when I asked the first question,
There's Steph.
can you name a famous athlete? The majority of your answers were male.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the media's fault, considering when ESPN released their top 100 athletes list, 3 of them were females. Back in 1972, Title IX was a rule put in place saying that all public schools had to have an equal amount of sports for men and women. When I asked you for famous cheerleaders, figure skaters, ballet dancers, and gymnasts, the majority of your answers were female. This might have to do with the fact that we don't even realize men are in these sports until Olympics come around. We're like, ooh, we want to support our country. Let's go watch this. Yay, another sport. Or the fact that for basketball, hockey, and football, the only professional teams televised are all male.
Mm-hmm.
It also might have to do with the way you were brought up. As a young girl, you might have been put into ballet, gymnastics, cheerleading at a very young age. If you were a boy, you could have had a baseball bat or a hockey stick in your hand before you could even walk. Personally, I was introduced to hockey at a very, very young age. It was the first time my mom left me and my dad home alone. Newborn baby, dad. So, of course, I was crying. My dad decided, let's flip through the channels on the TV. So I'm crying. And he gets to the hockey. He decides he's going to check the score. I stop crying, but he keeps flipping through channels, and I start crying again. You go back to hockey, stop crying. We watched hockey the rest of the night. But when me and my sister were both old enough, we both decided we wanted to do ballet, and then gymnastics, and so on and so forth. But in preschool, my sister's best friend had a dad who was a hockey coach. So I became stereotypical ballerina, figure skater. My sister went against stereotype. When we moved into town, I asked, hey mom, can I try figure skating? Sure. My sister's response, ew, no, I want to play hockey. My parents were going to be like, oh, that's a guy's sport, you can't do that. So we have my sister, and we have me. We grew up in the same household, but yet we have one completely with stereotype and one completely against it. She even shaved her head at one point to look like her favorite soccer player. Now, we're going to put a disclaimer out there. This did not happen at Smithfield. But when one of my friends went to school and people found out that he was a figure skater, his head was smashed into a water fountain.
Oh.
Guys are maybe afraid to do feminine sports because they're not considered manly enough. The definition of manliness is the traditional male quality of being brave and strong. When you look at these male athletes in these feminine sports, they all look pretty strong to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to be pretty brave to lift a girl over their head, knowing that if they were to drop them, they could get a concussion and end that girl's career. Or this gymnast who's just going to run down, jump off a springboard, and tumble through the air and land on a really, really thin mat. I'm not going to try that. I don't want to do that. Or this figure skater, who pretty much has 2 metal knives strapped to his feet on the slipperiest surface in the world, who's going to jump into the air, rotate 4 times in under a second, and land on 1 foot. All of these athletes fit the definition of manliness just fine. So I'm going to ask you one question, one I still can't answer yet. Why do we have these stereotypes, and what can we do to fix them?